The ceiling fans? They're very attractive.
What a piece of junk!
She'll make 0.5 past light speed. She may not look like much, but she's got it where it counts, kid. I've made a lot of special modifications myself.
Satellite tracking continues.
Because of the following special program, Kate and Allie, Newhart, and Cagney and Lacey will not be presented tonight.
You're all individuals!
Clickety-click.
Crank up the music. Keep an eye on the back.
This presentation is provided to you to amuse or entertain and not to conform or inform. The content on this channel should not be used to replace professional, financial, medical, or legal advice. All footage taken and used from public sources falls under the fair use of the Digital Millennial Copyright Act of 1998. Therefore, no breach of privacy or copyright has been committed. This show is substantially sourced, not affiliated with any community, club, fraternity, or gang. Your cat may vary. I say, moo.
There was a time in my life when I was so broke I couldn't even pay my electric bill. It definitely was the darkest days of my life.
Satellite tracking continues.
Wow. Wow. Hey, everybody. It's Friday night. Finally. It seems like it's been 2 weeks. Well, it has, I guess. But it's finally here. Friday again. I'm so happy to be with you all. You've made it 2 weeks now on the right side of the topsoil, so pat yourself on the back. You've accomplished that over the last 2 weeks, if nothing else, so congratulations. And thank you all for being here tonight. I'm excited to get back and have some screen time with you and go over some of the stuff that I had from last week that I worked really hard on, and then the stuff that I have for this week. So I'll try not to make it a 4-hour marathon show, but we'll see where this takes us. So, okay, first things first, I have to find the right buttons. It's been a while since I've clicked the buttons up here, and this one does the camera.
Clickety-click.
Hey, everybody, good to be seen by you all. I'd say it's a decent hair day. I'll go with it. I got one of my favorite Goodwill shirts on. Just love this thing. It's so soft and comfy. So welcome in, everybody, and whoever's piling in. Thank you for showing up. And wow, what a crazy week last week was. That was nuts. I put together, like, I gather stuff for this show, and I'll just kind of talk about this stuff in the beginning before as the room fills up. And also, if you do like, don't forget, hit that like button, the share button, the subscribe button. Thank you for the memberships. God bless you. And the Patreons that have been with me. So it just seems like forever. And all the different donations that we get, throughout the week. It's all very, very wonderfully well received. And I can't thank you enough. And then I also try to make sure that I do write to everybody whenever they write to me or send something. The only thing is like, if you do a Cash App, you only have like a choice of 4 emojis, so you probably just get a heart. So that's all I can do on that. But thank you for those donations too. And so other than that, if you want, just hang out and if you enjoyed the show, hit those like and share and things like that, because it supposedly helps the algorithm, and then more people see it and yada yada yada, that kind of thing.
That's very true.
Okay, and if you're new to me, welcome. And I've got a lot to talk about because I wasn't on last week, and I'll stop saying and. In addition to that, I've got things I want to talk about that happened throughout the news, and then also, we want to get to some space talk, and maybe a little bit, if you haven't already, ad nauseum on my story of how I got this name and why I talk about these things in space the way I do. We can cover some of that.
True. Yep. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, having said that, good Lord, Jeannie, there's already 127 people in there. Thank you for coming. Nice. And right, nice. And I'm actually talking to that's my silent wife, and she's down there, and she basically runs the show, and I just turn on the microphone and speak. And I just want to, I'm going to stop that end. I'll work on it. It's been a while. I haven't talked, I guess, publicly for 2 weeks, but there was a couple things I'll get through real fast so I can clear some tabs. I got way too many, of course. Is that I get emails, and I love when I get email. Or snail mail is even more crazy because you just don't expect that anymore in these days. But I digress. The emails, I've got 2 that I wanted to just kind of touch on. One was a gal wrote me a really nice note, and I also want to thank everyone for their concerns because I wasn't here last week, and I'll explain why. And I wasn't able to really let people know what was going on unless you saw the post that I did put up. So I had a lot of emails from people that were generally concerned of my well-being, and it was very humbling and very much appreciated. Thank you for that. That wasn't the problem at all. We were all healthy. In fact, I used all of those prayers that came towards me. One of our pets needed to have a surgery, and so she made it through. Fantastic. It's wonderful, and praise God. And I put all your prayers and pushed them that way. I don't know if that's allowed, but I did it. So we'll just see what happens, because, I only know what I know, That sounds like a very Trump-esque statement. I only know what I know. We shall see what we shall see.
That makes no sense.
Okay. So having said that, one of the people that wrote to me, her name's Angie, and thank you so much. And you said really lovely things about my wife too, so that's another reason why I wanted to make sure I brought it up on air. But she sent me a link to a thing because we were talking 2 weeks ago. Again, it's on my channel. It's a separate video about nuclear weapons because I've done the shows before, but we did one a couple weeks ago, and I just wanted to not only thank her for the wonderful letter and kind words, but she connected me to this video. I don't know if there's copyrights on this gentleman. His name is what is his name? Haywood Banks, and he's got 37,000, so it's a decent amount, way more than I do. And it's about the nuclear weapons and they hide under the school desks. And I just want to show you this one part here so you can hear it. And you can't hear it. Where's the sound? All right, that didn't work. Let's see. Let's try this a different way. Stop that. Let's see. Clickety click. We go here. What's that? You like his look? Yeah. What's going on? All right. Hang on a second, people. And we're not going to have major issues tonight. This is the only one. Just trying to figure out how to get that sound going over there. Let's see. So we want speakers. Let's see. See if that did it. We'll go clickety click.
Down your pencils.
There we go. Okay, you heard that. I heard it.
Please put down your pencils high beneath the school desk, waiting for the atom bomb to fall.
Is that great? So if you want to check that video out, because again, I don't know if there's copyrights or whatever, but it's called School Desk by Haywood Banks. And it is really cute. And the guy has an interesting look. He's really cool. So there you go. I don't know anything else about him. I don't know any more of his songs. So, don't hate on me if you don't like anything else. I thought this was a funny song. So thank Angie for that. And I wrote her name down so that would I remember. See, because I find myself a lot mixing up people's names. I know Dennis and Terry. So yes, there you go. So that's that. So thank you very much for that. And then another person, I believe was Dennis. Another person, oh shoot, now see I forgot his name. I apologize. He's in Arizona because I have fans all over the place. And he sent me this, and it's amazing. I'm not gonna play the clip, the whole thing. It's a minute and a half, but within a minute and a half, you find out that there's a city in Arizona, and they are having a problem because they want to spend $600,000 on a blinking crosswalk at 66th Street. And in addition to the 666th Street, it's because there's a synagogue across the street and they need it. And in addition to that, the person that's like pushing it through on the city council is, where is his name? This guy. I thought it had his name. Yeah. Adam Quasman. And he's in the synagogue. He's a member, but it has nothing to do with that because he admits he is, but it has nothing to do with that. So thank you for that news article. I thought that was pretty amazing amount of stuff packed into a minute and a half news article. But I'll throw one right back at you. Have you seen this? This is also going on in Arizona. They're taking these cans that look like the ones that you crash into if you have a runaway Indian truck.
And I noticed this camera staring at me.
They're not. They're fake
on
ones.
both sides.
Camera.
You're not slick. What is this, Arizona? Explain to me. And there's a cable going on the backside. Runs up here and just goes off in the distance. Explain to me what.
What is that? Does it look like Wall-E from the movie? Yeah, maybe. But no, inside there it sure does. Look at that. Or number 5 is alive, maybe that guy. But in any case, yeah, So the things that we think are just water cans are staring at us and surveilling us, right? So, all right. So let's see. That covers that. That's good. And then here, let's kill that for a second and get rid of that. Let's see how we're doing over here. Okay, come on. There we go. Let's look in here. Let's look in this folder here. Talk amongst yourselves. Let's see. What do we have? Oh, I know what we need to do before we get too deep in all these pictures and stuff. I'll tell you all what happened. So basically, I get the show ready. I get stuff throughout the week. As soon as this show's over, I'll be grabbing things and putting together to eventually, like, maybe discuss them. There's a lot of stuff. It's interesting. I'll send, say, like 5 articles, and like 2, if it's Twitter, 2 of those accounts might be suspended by the time the week comes around, or in this case, 2 weeks. And they were. 2 of them were. And then there'll be maybe one I just don't think is funny anymore or interesting, or it's been proven wrong, and so then I'll get rid of that. But I'll start doing that right after the end of the show. And so by the time I have a bunch of stuff together, then Thursday, Friday, I start assembling it into some type of show. That's why I get the thumbnails up around on Thursday. And what happened is the internet, it was working Friday morning, and I was putting the show together, and then it just went out and it wouldn't come back. And I looked and checked out, and we weren't in an area that was saying like power's out or whatever, that kind of thing. And so we contacted, we have Xfinity, and we contacted them, and they said that no, it's an issue that they'd have to send a technician, I guess. And so we tried everything, unplug, and plug in, and that kind of thing. That didn't do it. And so so Friday was a bust. So what I finally had to do was, because I couldn't take the show down, I couldn't talk in the chat. And so what I did was 2 things. One is Trish, of course, thank you, Trish, if you're in here, asked what's going on. And so she got the messages out because she was in the chat. And then I literally got in the car and drove to the end of the street that heads towards our city, and got towards the main highway and pulled over. And then I could tweet out or whatever, post that the statement with the picture of the thumb from, I thought that was good, Terminator 3 thumb burning down, But that's how I was able to get that out. And then as soon as I did that, then I went back in this. We have very poor cell service. We kind of live in the woods. Well, we do. And because of that, I couldn't even like chat. Occasionally, it would allow me to hit like the thumbs up or like or love button or whatever that is, the heart, on a comment that came through. But that was as far as I could do. So I apologize. I was devastated too, because I had all these things to talk about, a lot of stuff that I'd worked on for a while. It takes me a while to put some of these little videos together. Even a 30-second video can take, hours possibly. So it just depends how complex I make it. And I'm also real critical on my own stuff. So that's the way that works. But in any case, so I had all that stuff ready, and I couldn't put the show together. And so I was a little bit mopey, but we made it through. You all made it through, and everyone's fine. We're doing good. Dog's healthy. Everyone's healthy, and we're back on the air. And so there you go. So that's it in a nutshell. And hopefully that took care of all the questions on that. Okay, where are we at here? Oh, and I also did want to thank Hunt and Cover. Thank you. He gave us some coffee money. We love our coffee. Trust me. And my ceiling fan man mug was dirty, so I had to go to the secondary panda mug, because they're very sus. So thank you very much, and we will pull the chain 3 times on high. Okay, better move that so I don't knock that over. There we go. Nose is going a little bit tonight. Hopefully that won't be a problem. So okay, so let's see. We got that. Go down in here, and let's see. We'll go to, let's kill some of the first look tabs. That's how we'll start off tonight. Go share screen, clickety click here and here. And here. Okay. And what do we have here? I had to show this. We live out in the Pacific Northwest, and there's a train, but it goes up in the air too, and it goes from a lot of places. Well, basically, it goes from major cities in Seattle and downtown and all the districts down there, and it connects to the airport. And so you can get on in one of the stations in your city that might be along the line there, and then you can go directly to the airport. But it does go street level on some places, as this lady proves, because she I call it Michael Scotted it, because she said that her GPS took her onto the train line, and before she knew it, she's up here. I don't know if she thinks she could get out somehow. They shut down the entire train line, of course. I'm sure a lot of people were not too happy with it, because they had to get a crane in here and haul this car out. And I'm not going to say anything about the genders. I'm just saying. So that's what happened there, and I just thought that was just fascinating. I don't think anyone's ever seen anything like this since the train's been in. So there you go. So yeah, I'm sure that kind of messed things up for a while. So okay, I just wanted to cover that one. Get rid of that. What do we got here? And follow all. This is not a medical show. Follow your doctor's advice in the 3-letter companies and all that for all your medical advice. Don't listen to me, because I'm just experimenting on myself. But isn't this interesting that Finland, they replaced rubber playgrounds with mud and dirt, and the kids got healthier within a year. The exact changes in their blood tests surprised the researchers. So look, I'm just reporting the news. I'm not saying anything about that other than they got grounded. And once you realize where you live, changes everything. And it literally is grounding. Because don't forget, every single pair of shoes, slippers, basically, unless you have moccasins right now in your house, they all have some type of what? That the Beetle told us, rubber sole. And it keeps electricity, which we're electrical beings, and so is the earth, from connecting. And so everything has got rubber on it. It makes sense to me, I'm not a doctor, that these kids got healthier once they were able to connect back to the earth. So just thought that was pretty interesting story there. Let's see, we better get rid of this. Oops, where'd it go? Not that. This gets annoying after a while. There we go. Okay. And this one, every once in a while, we have discussions about cruise ships. And besides all the craziness of fights and stuff that now everyone's showing on cruise ships, so this one was released. The plans are it's 16 billion. It's a mile long, and it can carry 80,000 people. It'll be called the Freedom Ship, home to 50,000 people with space for 10,000 tourists and 20,000 crew members. So basically, the 50,000 are people that are going to be permanently on board this mobile city at sea, and it's designed for long-term residents rather than short-term travel. It would be 8 times the size of the largest ship in the world. You seeing this, Jeannie? You're gonna go. Yeah. It's supposed to be a livable boat. So 50,000 people will be living on it. 10,000 will come in and out as tourists, and then 20,000 will be crew members. Has a 15,000 seat stadium, schools, colleges, shops, clubs, water park, music hall, museums, parks, and more. It'll run on nuclear power. So there you go. Should we book it, hon? Get out of no. There's pools. No. No, she says. She says no. Okay. And this one I just had to show. First of all, this guy's looked the same his entire life that I've seen him act. But these 2 photos of Morgan Freeman, somebody said Nelson Mandela. No, Morgan Freeman. These are 40 years difference. Now soak that in. 40 years difference between these 2 faces. and they say vampires don't exist. Come on. This is some Highlander crap right there, right? Eventually has to kill off this character. There can be only one, and then he has to reinvent himself as somebody else. So, but that's pretty nuts. Am I right? That's something to connect the dots. I see what you said there. What is it, Stevie? Wish I had a bigger screen over here. I could see his stuff easier. Don't crack. Is that what you're saying? I see you, Wenjo. My chat is hilarious, Jeannie. Just saying. All right, so enough of that. And then this one I wanted to try something new here.
They had a Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil's is in here. All right, I'm over in the chat again. Let's see what we got. Oops, that's Trish. There he is. Hey, good to see you. But you know what? If he just showed up here, that means he's late, Jeannie. He just wanted to be called tardy.
I don't feel tardy. I don't feel tardy.
And that goes for whoever else tried to sneak in just now. So had my attention taken. But not anymore. I'm here. All right. So, yeah, that was it. That's why I call him Michael Scott. That lady said her GPS told her to turn right there on the train track, and she did. And if you've seen that episode, it's fantastic. He drives into a lake because he just follows the GPS and blames it on the GPS. So, anyways, enough of that.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Okay, so let's see. So let's go. So I have a new idea. We'll see how far it gets, and if I need to, I'll just trim it out. We'll see. So the new segment, tentatively, if I do it ever again, is called "Is It Racist?"
But is it racist?
You like that one?
But
like that.
Is it racist?
So okay. So let's see what happens when we go down this rabbit hole. We'll give it a shot. Clickety click. We'll go here. So someone was at a. I'm fascinated with graduations. If you haven't seen that, I'm still fascinated. Seems like there's more fights breaking out, more twerking going on. There's a news article now that some gal, she did the splits and then twerked, and then they wouldn't give her a diploma, and it's just constant. I'm just shocked. I remember when it was controversial to clap for your kid because you wanted to wait so everyone could hear everybody's name, and so you weren't supposed to clap, and nobody listened. I mean, it's the one time in life you're gonna be able to cheer your son or daughter that they graduated, so you clap and cheer, whatever. That was like the most controversial, and now it's like dancing and twerking and fighting. And now this one, so this is the question, is it racist? So this is in Texas, and this gal is texting with it seems pretty racially motivated, let's say, but she's making a statement, but that there are only Hispanic people graduating. There was only 3 children that weren't Hispanic. And so, but what's funny about it, I think, is in the background, you hear it. They're all Spanish names, and they all have like 5 names, and so the audio is what makes this clip funny. But yeah, they do say.
Javier Castillo II.
I don't know. I just found the juxtaposition of the 20 names that are all Hispanic, and then her tweeting her obviously racist rant there. But so that's the first one. That one's pretty easy to tell. So how about this one?
But is it racist? Is it racist?
Okay, so now we got this one. You got Mike Huckabee meeting with the future rulers of the world in Israel, and some who are, it says, are as young as 15, 16, and 17 years old. And so what does he say about that?
I'm meeting some of the future billionaires of Israel. Some of these young people, maybe they're 15, 16, 17 now, but give them just probably a very short period of time, and in their 20s, we'll all be wanting to borrow money from some of them.
Okay, so he just said that when they get of age, they'll all be great money lenders.
But is it racist? Is it racist?
That's what he said. I'm just reporting the news. So there's that. I don't know. Anybody enjoying this? This might be the last time I do this. All right, what's next? How about this one? Same
I want
dude.
you to know I'm not a Zionist because I'm Jewish. I'm a Zionist and an unapologetic one because I believe the Bible.
Well, parts of it anyways. The first part, right? Not the second part. But we keep going.
And because I recognize that Jews around the world, representing only 0.2% of the world's population, have created outsized impact on the world.
Okay, so don't we call that the noticing?
But is it racist? Is it racist?
He literally said less than 2% of the special people control the world, basically. So there's that. I guess when he says it, it's okay. And but what's interesting about this is he talks about, and he's had multiple speeches. I've had a few that I've played before, that we need to support some special people, but you're not reading the book correctly, or you're not reading it at all. That's the problem. Especially, people that believe that they're, whatever he believes now. He stops at the New Testament. But I'm saying if he was to read the Old Testament, then he would see that throughout the Bible, throughout the, let's call it the Torah, God keeps taking the land away from these special people. Why? Because they keep forgetting who he is. They keep praying to other gods. They keep walking away from God no matter what miracle he performs for them. That's why they're called the people that always complain. Have you heard the saying, the children of Israel? That doesn't mean a country. That wasn't invented then. That didn't show up into the 30s or 40s by the Rothschilds. You can look that all up. In any case, Israel, the children of Israel, the children of Jacob, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob's name changes to Israel in the Bible. God changed it. That's what it says. And those are his children. Period. End of story. And throughout the Bible, the special land that was promised to them keeps getting taken away. He takes them out of Egypt with Moses. He's walking with them in a way. He's a pillar of clouds or smoke by day and fire at night. So he's always with you. And then when he moves forward, they follow him. And yet then they start saying, we got nothing to eat. We got nothing to drink. We would have been better off. Can we go back to Pharaoh? Can we? It's just constant complaining. And then when Moses goes up there to get some rules for them, because they still don't seem to get it, that's when they have Aaron take all their gold and throw it into a fire. And what does he say? Well, I threw the gold in the fire and a giant golden calf came out, or molten calf, as now it's been changed. And we just started praying to it. Obviously it's Baal, right? Moloch, the whole same thing, this bull-horned creature. And so all the way then, and on and on and on. God finally says, I can't take it. He leaves an angel with us, and he stops his walk with us. And then throughout history, you're going to see where, like, the reason none of those people, except two, I think it was, I'm going to get this wrong. There's two people that were allowed in, but everyone else, including Moses and Aaron, did not get to this promised land, because they infuriated God so much. He's just like, forget it. That's why you wonder, why were they in the desert for 40 years? Did they have really bad directions? No, it's just that they'd upset God so much. He's like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm just going to make it so, you're too much God talk. Am I back? Testing 1, 2. Okay, so we have audio. Oh my goodness. See, so much God talk. They don't like it on this airways. We know whose airways these are. So let's see. How can we do this? I can. What do I have for you? Let me see if this will work. Let me try my camera back on. Hang on a second.
Boys, I put more spoons on my ceiling fan. Check it out.
There you go. Fixed it. So yeah, so oh shoot, so let's see, where were we? We were discussing. Oh yeah, so throughout history, they keep doing things, and it keeps getting taken away from them. I mean, even with things that are promised to King David, he rips the kingdom down from under him. Why? Because he sins, right? He covets somebody's wife. He sends their husband off to war to die, and he takes her. What was it, Bathsheba, I think? So it's like, even the great people that have been throughout history that God has loved and made examples of have fallen. It shows you the fallen state. No matter what, we all are sinners. There was only one perfect person, and they crucified him. And so the best that we can do is fall in love. Now the best that we can do is do what we can to follow his teachings, and know that we are flawed, and when we make mistakes, to have to ask for forgiveness. And so I thought I had something on that, but I don't see the photo now, so we'll just move on from there. But yeah, so that's the thing. That's we all fail. We all are learning, and all you have to do is just make sure that you learn from that experience and you repent, and then you're the new man. So okay. Let's see. Is that I'm noticing too much stuff? You're probably right. So let's see. What's next? All right, we can get off the noticing, but we got I have more to this new and probably last time I'm going to play this game.
But is it racist?
And that, of course, comes from Disney. And somebody wrote, "Damn, Disney even got the horse." I'm right. They even got to the horse.
But is it racist? Is it racist?
I think Netflix does the same thing, though. So, okay, is that the way things are going? I'm not even going to talk about Blue's Clues and how disappointed I am for little kids that they're going to be discussing sexuality and scars from things that were done to themselves, and I'm not even gonna. Let's move on. But how about this one? Just when you thought we couldn't go any farther in the Idiocracy movie, now you've got this.
Hochul signs this bill sitting on her desk. A new law will make it illegal to call them mother and father. Nate Foy has the details on this. Nate?
So instead of being called mother and father, in New York, they want to outlaw. You literally can't use those terms on documents and stuff, because they say it's outdated, and it should be called gestating parent for the mother and non-gestating parent for the father. I mean, how far down this rabbit hole are we going with this nuts stuff? This world is so insane to me at this point. If you want to call yourself different things, go for it. But no, we're writing laws to make it now illegal to write mother and father on some documentation. It's just bizarre to me. It's so bizarre. Then you've got this one. This guy is the Democrat governor in Maryland. He just signed a law that bans the Glock. the Glock. And I'm not even promoting guns, or I'm just saying it's the most popular gun in the United States. The police use them, and he's trying to get it done. So starting January, they'll be in his state illegal to buy or sell. I guess you can own it or something still if you already had it, and that doesn't make any sense. How do you choose the ones anyways? So I mean, talk about it's completely against which one? Second Amendment, I think it is. And the fact that, so part of this news stories that we see, this cycle of news, whether or not this happens, and maybe they'll tie it up in laws and lawsuits, and it'll go on for days, months, years, whatever. It's gaslighting, if you all know what that is. It's just to get people arguing and upset at things. It's to get people to, follow this instead of that. Don't keep asking, why are these powerful people not being thrown in jail for these horrible crimes that were done on these islands and stuff? No, are we still talking about that? Like Connor said on his stream, we talked about that. He keeps throwing that out there. But yeah, we're not talking about it. We'd like to, like, what happened? But instead, they're going to throw things at us like this and get everyone arguing, fighting over this, because they don't want you to discuss some of these other things that are happening. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on that. One last tab. And no, this is not about body shaming. This is for people that are my age. This is a group called Guns N' Roses. This is a gentleman named Axl Rose. Now, in his heyday, great, everyone gets older, and I get it, but he decides to still tour at whatever he is, 80, I don't know what they are. Women wanted to be with him. Men wanted to look like him. I mean, it was just, I'm just shocked. That's all I'm going to say. And he still has the same gross hat. I bet it stinks like the high heaven. So, anyways, there's good old. He did. He's let himself go and gone. Knocking on Arby's door is the title. I just read that. That's funny. Okay. And then there's this clip.
It was a moral sin.
I mean, we're getting to the point where they don't even hide it anymore. I think this was a 60 minutes. Yeah, 60 minutes. Right? And this, what's this guy's name? It's Andrew Ross Sorkin. He's a financial analyst. Writes about financial collapses. He's got a reptile eye. Come on. Like, they do it on purpose, don't they, right? They got to do it on purpose. I think. Okay, enough of that. And this is why people don't like religion. And I'm not religious. I found God. I know that the way, the truth, and the life is through Jesus. I understand that. But I'm not religious. And the reason people don't like religion is stuff like this. This is a prophet, he calls himself, Kevin Leal. He ripped a page out of the Bible and he makes his kid swallow it, saying, yeah, saying the power of God will enter him once he eats this page.
Go ahead, take your time. Come on, raise the music up.
Making him swallow it. It's like right out of a James Bond movie or something. Torture.
Begin to scream, wisdom to build.
And then he gets the power, he's still chewing.
Swallow it. He was a water. A father. Mark him for the rest of his life. Right now, son. This is a life-changing anointing just happening to you.
You just fall backward? Trust fall? No, I guess not. But that's why people don't like religion. This is silly. This is nonsense. You don't find God, you don't find Jesus by ripping a page out of a Bible and eating it. What is going on? This is why I have trouble with organized religion. Doesn't matter which one it is. I have trouble with them all. Where's that one guy I have here? Let's see. Or actually, I think it's a gal. Let's see. Whoops. Don't want that. Don't want to leave the studio again. Let's see. I think it is. Let's see. Clickety click here. Where is she? Come on. Which one is it? I think it's this one.
This message is deep. Watch this to the end.
God's chosen ones never go to church, and before you gasp, before you judge, you better ask yourself what church you're even talking about. Because if you think God's elect are defined by pews, programs, and potlucks, you've already missed the gospel. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm not here to make you feel better about your lukewarm walk. I'm here to tell you the truth. Some of you are more faithful to your Sunday schedule than you are to Christ. And hell will be filled with churchgoers who thought attendance was obedience. Do you honestly believe that going to church once or twice a week somehow makes you right with God? Do you really think the Almighty looks down from his throne and is impressed that you put on a suit, walked into a building, and sang 3 songs before checking your phone during the sermon? Let me tell you something that will shatter every shallow assumption you've been clinging to. God is not fooled by your routine. God is not mocked by your ritual. And God is not glorified by your attendance. He demands your obedience. We are living in an age of religious deception where millions have been inoculated against the true gospel by watered-down sermons, emotional music, and the lie that going to church equals knowing Christ. You sit in a pew. You nod at the sermon. You close your eyes during the prayer. But you leave unchanged. Why? Because your heart is still dead in sin. You're not a follower of Jesus. You're a fan of religious culture. The Pharisees went to synagogue, they tithed, they fasted, they knew the scriptures better than most pastors today, and yet Jesus said to them, "You are of your father the devil." Why? Because their hearts were unrepentant. They loved the appearance of holiness, not the reality of it. They clung to the structure but rejected the Spirit. They worshiped God with their lips, but their hearts were far from Him. Sound familiar? It is a terrifying truth that many of you have more confidence in your weekly attendance than in the finished work of Christ. You think that showing up on Sunday makes up for the rest of the week you spend in compromise. You believe that because your name is on a church roll, it's written in the Lamb's Book of Life, you are trusting in your religion, not in the Redeemer. And that trust will damn you. Let me say it plainly. The true Christian life is not 1 hour on a Sunday. It is a complete surrender of every part of your being to the Lordship of Jesus Christ.
So there you go. So, and it's interesting too. And I'm not calling out any one religion. They're all corrupt in some way. They're all doing something wrong. And I'm as my little thumbnail or what do you call this thing says, I'm still learning. And so what I'm finding is they're all doing something wrong. Like I grew up in the synagogue, in the temple. I can tell you all the things they do wrong there. You're not supposed to cover your head. First thing they do is make you cover your head. You're not supposed to worship the creation. You're supposed to worship the Creator. They pull that Torah out and they march it around, and you have to kiss it, but you can't touch it. You have to use your talit that you got when you were a bar mitzvah or from a nice friend named David sent me one. And you have to take that, touch the Torah, and then kiss that. Or you have to take the Torah book that you're reading, touch that Torah, and kiss that. That's complete worship to me of the book, which we're not supposed to do. I mean, how is it any different than the guy that rips the page and forces the kid to eat and says, now Christ is in you? That's not how this works. We are saved by grace. You can do the works, but that's expected of you. You know, what did Jesus finally say? He's like, you put it all into one thing. Love yourself, love God, and love thy neighbor as thyself. You do those 3 things, I think, well, you do God, then yourself, and then your neighbor. And then that's everything fulfilled. Because then what's going to happen? You're going to be kind. You don't have to like get rules from the 10 Commandments. You're just going to do them. And you're not going to have to like do a sacrifice or swing a dead chicken over your head and stuff. Because Jesus was the final sacrifice. He paid for your sins. So what do? You sin, you mess up, you learn from it. You don't do it again, because God gets more upset with you if you repeat the same sin. But at the same time, he doesn't kick you out of the book of life. Maybe he sends you some correction, like you would any child, and then you repent on that. And you don't wait. Like the Jews, we had to wait 1 day a year. We'd go there and we'd sit there and insufferably sit for like the Yom Kippur service. Plus, you already had your Rosh Hashanah, it was the week before. Yom Kippur, it went on all day, basically. I mean, I remember as a kid, we were there at least 4 hours, and then I think you left and you came back for another 2 and stuff. And you're not supposed to eat, so everyone's miserable. And of course, it's all in another language. So I don't know as a kid how I made it through all that. And so you sit through this, and then that's the 1 day, and you're absolved of everything you've done for the year, and then you can sin again away until next year. I mean, that's the way basically we were taught. Excuse me. The teachings that I know now, you're not supposed to sin throughout the year, because you know God's with you and he's watching everything you're doing. And if you're going to do something that you know is wrong, you're going to hear this voice in your head like he's there sitting there going, sure you want to do that? At least that's how it works for me. And so that's the thing. I feel that all those things are completely wrong, you know. Then you got, you know, in the Catholic services I've been to, they're full of ceremony. They're wonderful. But they also want you to pray to Mary, which you're not supposed to. They also want you to like do repetitive prayer, say 3 Hail Marys and 4 Our Fathers, and talk to this guy and don't call any man father. Here's this priest, call him father and tell him your sins. So I'm supposed to tell Jesus. Well, you can tell him also. That everything's changed. It's not the way it was. Maybe it has when it started, but it's the way it is now. To me, it's just all messed up too. And you've got what else? I mean, a lot of the other ones don't matter just because if no one's picking on them, it's because they really aren't. They're really irrelevant. The reason Christianity is attacked so much is because it is the right way, even though I don't believe in everything the Christians believe, you know. And then they branch off too. You got Baptists doing this and that. No, it's just you need to find your place. You need to find your spirituality. You need to make it with God and yourself. And the book helps, the Bible, but you don't need it to make that connection. As my Jewish side would say, it couldn't wait. But I guess he just did.
Now, who can argue with that? Reverend.
Rhetoric. No, he says reverend.
He says what?
He says reverend.
Looks like rhetoric.
Rhetoric? Okay, Chad, does he say reverend or rhetoric?
Now, who can argue with that? Reverend.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. So that's the problem. Yeah, I understand getting together is nice, like here, but getting together and like-minded people and singing songs to God, that's a wonderful thing. The problem is, like I said, I haven't found a single church yet or temple or anything that I don't have an issue with, or I just feel that they fall. They're not going to talk about the Mandela effect and the changes in the Bible, even though they see them and they read them. They're not going to talk about giants, even though that's in the Bible. They're not going to talk about space. I mean, there's still, like I said in Jesus Freaks chat today, David was out live. And I can't believe that there are people that say they're Christians, or just people that read and believe the Bible, that still believe we're a ball flying through space. Because it's in the very beginning of Genesis. So even if you're Jewish, you should understand it's in the Torah. It says that we're stationary, we're on pillars. There's shale beneath us, and then we live on this space on top, and there's a firmament that's all the way around, so there's your ball in a way. And there's waters above us and waters below. He doesn't talk about stars and other planets and galaxies. He talks about the stars and planets as wandering lights that are what? In the firmament. And there's multiple heavens. I mean, now it says one heaven, but it's still, it used to, and there are layers of it. The sun and the moon are lights for us, so we know day and night. He tells you that. So why would we still, as Bible believers, as believers in Jesus or whatever, why would we still believe you can fly to Mars and land on it, or Jupiter? Excuse me. Yeah, as he's like coughing his head off. Thank you. And yeah, it's kind of just shocking to me. And let's see. I think I had some more that's connected to this. Not those. Let's leave those for another minute too. Well, those are all connected too. So. Well, why don't we do this? We'll pull out some. Let's pull out some. Let's clear some of these tabs with Scary Space News. How about that? It kind of goes with the topic tonight, anyways.
This week in Scary Space News.
So you got was it SpaceX had a rocket last week, blew up on the launch pad, kablooey. I don't know why there's no sound effects. I should have added them, but it was pretty spectacular. Meanwhile, they're saying it's because we're eating too many cows that's causing an ozone problem. In the state of Washington now, multiple counties, they're trying to propose a burn ban. And if you live on with a bunch of trees and has leaves and branches and stuff, look, it looks like an atom bomb from over across the water. You need to burn some of that stuff, and you get a permit and you burn it. But now they're going to try to stop that. Meanwhile, this is allowed, right? This is perfectly fine because we're going to space, so we can send as much fuel explosion nastiness in the sky. Look at the lightning too. This has got to be AI. You guys, these are cartoons. When are we going to stop believing in this stuff? Look at this. And this explosion, these things don't even, nothing bothers them. What are they made out of? What's that? Am I only showing it to myself? Dag nabbit. Okay. Now everyone thinks I'm an idiot. Everyone! Fine. Let's try this again. Hey, how about everyone watch it this time, not just me? Now can we see it? Can you see it, huh?
No, yeah.
Okay. Now everyone gets to see it. Here we go. And I remember what I said, though. That's the problem. Dag nabbit, yeah. Well, it's better than...
Repeat what you said.
Repeat what I said? How about I'll splice it into this area? Look at that. That's, again, I don't know why there's no sound to it, but that's a pretty incredible explosion. And they say that we're causing the problems with eating too many cows, and now Washington State wants to ban burning of excess leaves and branches and stuff in the state of Washington. There, I think I said everything again. And here it looks like you got a frog jumping up or a fish. This is where it looks so AI. You got a fish jumping up, then you got like a nuclear blast, and at the end of it, you get lightning. Come on. This is so, look at that. This is so fake. It's so fake. But they better not get our case about our carbon footprint. That's all I'm saying. Look at that. So you get that going on. And it reminded me of, if you go all the way back to the very beginning, in fact, it's on my channel, I think, called The Ceiling Fan Origin. story. It's not a great video, but it helps explain things. If you're not familiar with me, let's see. So I put in the Mariner satellite. Okay. There we go. So basically what happened with me was I had time off from working for the first time since I was like 14. And I started looking into things because I was watching YouTube channels and things weren't making sense. And this one channel discussed satellites in space and how they're just cartoons. And in fact, there's a funny video as it Music Guru does, where he's like flying through space and satellites are fake and that kind of thing. But in any case, I started looking into this, and yeah, all the satellites that you see, if you type in for photos, oops, I wanted that page. Come back. There it is. We'll do another one. Satellites in space. Okay. So if you go in and you were to do this search that I'm doing right now, and you put satellites in space and you click on images, you just get cartoons. These are all cartoons. None of these are real. And if you were to buy into this and say, no, that's a real photo of a satellite in space, then you have to say, okay, well, who took it? So there's a secondary satellite flying around taking pictures of the satellite as they fly around. No, these are all cartoons, you know. And the joke is at what altitude does everything turn into cartoons? Because even Google Earth, if you back out far enough, it becomes a cartoon. And so they say that all this stuff is going on. They say all these satellites are flying around in space like this. And there's even more. I think I have a video. Maybe it's one of these. If not, we'll find it. Oh, no, here. I think of this one. No, that's the moon one. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. These are the satellites they say have been, depending on the year. Look how many satellites they say are orbiting the Earth right now. And yet when they take pictures in deep space, you never see satellites, ever. If there's this many satellites, why aren't they being recorded in all these photos that we're seeing from space? How come the Artemis 2 didn't have trouble flying through this? And if we're truly spinning and twisting and doing all that stuff as a ball flying through, look at this. You can't even see the Earth. How do these satellites, they form perfect orbits and they just stay with us? This is nuts. Those satellites are supposed to be with us as we do this.
I don't believe I live on a cartoon ball that flies through space the way that they say on this ridiculous model. We need to all realize that we've been lied to.
Satellite tracking continues.
Right? Oops. Right? And so what happened was as I'm doing my research and I come across this idea that, you know, they've lied to us about satellites. You can look up satellites, and every single satellite that I've ever seen that has crashed to Earth is attached to what? A balloon. And you can still see them launching satellites on balloons right now. There's even people that have captured the balloon on the satellite as it flies around. So they're not in deep space, they're in low Earth orbit. And the system that we have to connect communications still to this day is underwater sea cables. They keep putting it in. And so, so then when you get to, let's see. So these are satellites that we just discussed, okay? And then I started looking into this Mariner satellite program. And at the time, I was calling in on a talk show, and I was fascinated with satellites, and that's all I kept talking about. And I called in one last time, and they were pulled up on the screen. If I can find it, the Mariner 9. But a specific, I mean, that's the Mariner 9 there. Okay. But the specific one that's behind me, whatever. Oh, I just put in 9. Put in number 9. Because there's multiple Mariner satellites. But when I got to the Mariner 9, and this was on the screen, I said, you know, it kind of looks like a ceiling fan. Where is it? And it still has the light chain. It hasn't even been photoshopped out. And so that's when I called in another time, they called me the ceiling fan guy, and then I just changed the word to man because it rhymed. And so here we are, wherever my gal is. Let's see, is she up here? She's over here.
And so here we are.
And so that's where that came from, because when you look at all these, look at this is the Mariner, this is another Mariner. I think this one's Mariner 8. Literally looks like it's still connected to the pole. And these are supposed to be, and these satellites cost the taxpayer millions of dollars, especially in the dates and times that they were at. And they gotta always have the tinfoil and stuff. So to me, they just look like ceiling fans or variations of it. And so that's where all that kind of came about. And let's see, let's kill that. And we'll get rid of that, that. And it brings me to this. One of the things that I came across, because when you look into the Mariner satellite program, was they had a rocket that blew up on the launch pad, and it destroyed the satellite. And you can still find it online. Here's one of them that had it, right? It's called the Atlas Agena rocket. And I found this, and just this one was the one that kind of did it in for me, that they're lying to us, because here it is. It's filled, originally they had said rocket fuel, but now I think it's just some type of kerosene. But you can see it's getting ready to launch. And then did you see that? Right here, it goes from a white rocket with blown out steam. There's like a jump cut. And now it's a silver rocket. It looks like it has a crease in it. And this is it blowing up. But when I saw this, I was like, wait a minute, this just looks like a balloon. This looks like a helium balloon that broke and crashed, because you don't see, this does not get set on fire. And now when you read the, readers out of context, they're like, thank goodness for the what is it? Suppression system or whatever. I can't even suffer and succotash. Some kind of system that created a suppression of the fuel to keep it from blowing up. But this is what I saw as a rocket being destroyed that had a satellite allegedly going up into space with a jump cut, a silver rocket. It bends over and collapses like a helium balloon. No explosion. Now you cut to, what are we in, 2026? Or so they say. And now it looks like this. It's pretty spectacular, I gotta say. But there you go. So that's what I was saying. I was like, once again, this didn't make sense. So there. So we got that tab closed, got that tab closed. We're just killing them. All right. Now we'll go over here. What do we got? Yeah, it was top secret, right? It says it on there. Big bada boom. Yeah, hopefully he still says suffer and succotash, right? Because apparently the rootin' tootin'est cowboy, what's that guy with why Yosemite Sam never said tarnation. That was a new one for me not too long ago. So thank you, Sharjans. Yes, everything on TV is a lie. Exactly. Our old ceiling fans now predict the weather. So, okay. Yeah, it doesn't seem very secret at all, is it? Or is NASA trying to pull my chain? Huh? Down to the pit again. So, yeah. So, what is this? Epic entomology recollections. Wow, that's some big words there. Thank you very much, Carla Henny. All right, let's get out of the chat or I'll get lost forever. So, I know he said it, but not anymore. Yosemite Sam never says tarnation anymore. Go figure that. Ricky Ricardo never said, Lucy, you got some explaining to do. And Yosemite Sam never says tarnation. So I don't shoot the messenger. I'm just relating the news. Where are we at? We have more Sandlot lovers here, so yes. I should get that drop. I love that. That's the only way I can say forever now. Forever. Right, Ginny? That's the only way to say it anymore. Okay. Let's finish up some of these tabs. Oh, these next two, the one news article came from one of my fans down under. G'day, mates, and what do they call the women down there? There's mates and lassies? I don't know. Someone from Australia, help me with that. I'll have to look up the slang there. But in any case, news from Australia.
Crikey! It's news for Australians, mate. Good day. Here's your news straight from Australia. We once were a prison colony, and now we got separated into many colonies. I've lost my accent. Crikey! Those look mountainous. Wow! You'll have to learn not only to drive on the wrong side of the road, but upside down. Bonza!
See, that's why I love the chat. You know, there's times, ask my wife, it's true. It's true. There's times that I'll not remember something and I'll just say to her out loud, let's ask the chat, because you always seem to, you guys come through, and gals, everyone comes through. So they're called Sheilas, Jeannie. That was the word we were looking for, was Sheilas. So, yeah. Okay. So in any case, yeah, right. Satellites flying upside down. So let's see. Let's go. Let's see. Oh, thank you. And my accent is spot on, Jeannie. Fantastic. Oh my gosh, my audience is kind and delusional at the same time. Sure, she says down there. Okay. What was I doing? Oh, so yeah. So this news article was sent to me by I think a Sheila. I hope I didn't mess that up. See, I mix people up a lot, so I apologize. But yes, the first Hong Kong astronaut launched into space on board a Chinese mission. So China is now getting into the space race because they don't want us building our moon base, I guess, before they get there. So good on you, China. They're taking off into space. And this article is about Australia. They decided to have some kind of drone show. I'm not sure what the occasion was. And they crashed. I guess we'll kill the music, is the case. And there was like some major disconnect, like Skylab was turned offline or something, and they all fell out of the sky. So the question is, as was posed a second ago, which way would they fall if you were like flying in space? Would they be falling? Because here they were falling down, but since they're on the bottom of the ball, they'd be falling up, right? I've always asked that question too. If you live in Australia and you look to God, Do you look at your feet or do you look up in the sky? So there's that. Oh, nice. DNA strand in the sky. What could possibly go wrong there? So, this is where they fell. Here, this is it. Wait for it. I hate when the videos tell you to wait for it. I never wait for it when they say that. Anyways, you can kind of see what's happening, and they all crash down on people. So there you go. The failure was blamed on what? A sudden radio frequency change. Interesting. But then they try to tell us that, cell phones, everything are fine, right? 5G is fine, but it takes out drones. All right. That's probably why some pigeons fall out of the sky too. So here's NASA. They finally, this is their vision of their permanent moon base on NASA. And so they're going to secure reliable access to the lunar surface and do experiments. So that's within the next, 3 years. Then we're going to go establish the initial moon base. And by 2032, so what do we do the math there? What is that, 6 years? 6 years. I'll still be alive. You want to book a trip to the moon, hon? No. She says no. Okay. And then we'll have permanent crew presence somewhere beyond, and meet up with Matt Damon, I guess. But there you go. So that's the official plans for the moon base on the moon, of course. Then what do we have here? And this one, they just constantly want to reinvent their. This is, what does this say? It just happened. The sharpest true color image of the moon ever captured. So explain to me, if this is the actual true colors of the moon, how come I don't see that from my telescope or any other telescope? How come we never saw it from the Artemis when they were flying to the moon? Why does it always look like a gray rock until we get to this animation and suddenly it's full of color? Like, yeah, it looks like Earth in a way. What's that after the party with Captain Allen? What a funny one, Jeannie. His whole, what do you call it, avatar?
Yeah, show it.
Show it? Okay. I got to get out. Got to go over here. Got to find the comment. I got to find the comment. And where'd it go? Where are you? And look at after the party with Captain Alien. Oh, Alien. So, anyway, thought that was pretty funny. But where were we? Oh, we were on the moon. Look at that. That's crazy. Suddenly it has all this. What are they going to say now? They found water on the moon or something, right? What do they say? They say it has the metals. Titanium are the blue. Iron is the red. Pure anorthosite crust from the moon's early magma ocean is the yellow and the white. Why is it that you don't see this anywhere else but this one video? Give me a break. Not buying it. Sick of it. No, I won't buy that for $1. Okay. RoboCop reference. Next.
Discovery.
Now this has been sped up, but I double checked with Grok because that's what you do nowadays. You talk to AI. Oh, you already got rid of it, Grok. Anyways, I asked if this was real NASA footage, and Grok said yes. Even though he said it.
Initiating RPM 3, 2, 1, mark.
That activity coordinated with the crew on board the International Space Station to allow flight engineers Yuri Malenchenko and Clay Anderson to photograph Discovery's heat shield, focusing on the tiles on the underside of the orbiter. Discovery and the International Space Station currently orbiting about 214 statute miles above the Atlantic Ocean.
Okay. So I asked Grok, come on, Grok, why you lie to me? No, okay. I have asked that before. But this is actual NASA footage. They wanted to see the underside of the space shuttle. So according to Grok, because they like, how do they do this, Grok? It has some kind of mini jets that shoot out of this thing to cause it to do this controlled spin. I don't know how they control it. They say, honestly, you can read it, controlled with a joystick of some kind, like it's an old Atari system, I guess. And then it flips over. And so I said, well, how come you can't see like the plumes of exhaust from when it's doing this? Because it has to be spraying out whatever to do this. And it said, oh, because it's like a hydrogen fuel that burns clean, and that's why you can't see it. I mean, they have lame excuses, but they have excuses for everything. So if you want to mock me and say that, you know, NASA's not lying to you, you have to believe that this really can happen, and this is actual video, not a stop motion or something in a studio. You have to believe this. You have no choice. You also have to believe that there's a red Tesla that flew around through space, in the heat of space, in the coldness of space, in the vacuum of space. The tires are fine. The paint on the car is fine. The dude stayed in the car. And in fact, then after he got done flying around Earth, he headed to the sun. Look it up. That's part of it. It's in the song, of course. Go listen to Elon. It's an amazing work, piece of work, a piece of something. But yes, check that out. And the car's heading to the sun. You have to believe in this, and you have to believe that Tesla is heading through space to the sun. You also have to accept the fact that, let me grab this one. And a lot of this stuff is, oh, I don't want to leave the studio. Wrong button. A lot of this stuff, let's see, is on my outro. Some of these pictures, photographs, cartoons, whatever. But I just want you to see. Yeah. And then there we go. Clickety click. These were the same year. They discovered the planet Pluto, right? They discovered the planet Pluto, and the same year that the dog Pluto was drawn on Disney. And you can see it better on my outro. Yeah, here. You can see Pluto's face in there. I mean, they completely mock you. That's in my video at the end. Discovered the same year and drawn the same year. Just a coincidence, of course, that the faces. Maybe they're going to eventually change this and say, oh, well, he got the inspiration for Pluto from planet Pluto. I don't know. But there you go. And what a weird thing Pluto is anyways. So all the other animals, they're alive and they can talk. But Pluto's just a dog and Mickey owns him? I mean, how kind of slave ownership is that sounding? Right? I mean, Goofy's a dog, but nobody owns him. These are the things I think about. So, and now you can too. What's next? And they always have to make everything, of course, in the what I believe. And once again, for discussions or whatever in the chat, this is the way it works. This channel is about what my experiences and my observations. So I believe, and I've seen the Mandela effect. I've seen the lies in the news and stuff like that. I know that the Earth is stationary on pillars, like God said, and there's a firmament. I get all that. No problem. And I also believe that because of all the things that we can see, the buildings that we can't recreate, the ones that have been buried by some kind of destruction, the teachings of Josephus, all the writings of Jesus that I could quote, We're not going to do that tonight. I believe that we're in the little season after the millennial reign.
Pizza.
Right before the end of the book. That's where I believe we live. If you don't believe in any of that stuff, that's fine. You're here and you're enjoying it. Great. Just listen to the show and have a good time. And then maybe look into the things that I mentioned. I'm not here to convince anyone. All I do is I discuss my observations and the things that happen to me, and I present the information. And once it's out there, hey, it's up on you.
Information's out there. All you have to do is let it in.
Now, who can argue with that? Reverend.
All right. So, having said that, the other thing that they do in the little season is they always have to make everything so sexual. You know, the rockets always look like, you know, phallic symbols and stuff. And they're always talking articles like this. NASA wants to go deeper into Uranus, giggity. The mission is literally called the Uranus Orbiter and Probe. I mean, come on. They put these things out, these articles saying that. Stop it. All right. And see, this is the Atlas Agena. Like I said, that's the one I was showing you, and did all these Mariner missions and stuff. But when you look into the amount of money they spent on these things, I mean, they've been stealing money left and right since the beginning of space flight, whatever that is. And we have the Space Force right now. They've never even left Earth, and yet we call them Space Force. I don't even know what they do. What are they doing all day? What's that? See, Trump knows what's up. He posted this.
In the campaign, I promised the American people that I would build a cutting-edge missile defense shield to protect our homeland from the threat of foreign missile attack. And that's what we're doing today. I'm pleased to announce that we have officially selected an architecture for this state-of-the-art system that will deploy next-generation technologies across the land, sea, and space, including space-based sensors and interceptors. And Canada has called us, and they want to be a part of it.
Of course they do.
We'll be talking to them. They want to have protection.
They're already the 51st state. Might as well just admit it.
Also, so as usual, we help Canada do the best we can. It's designed for the Golden Dome. Will integrate.
So the Golden Dome. I mean, again, truth is there. They're telling you. So yeah, he's been out of control lately. Again, I'm not one side or the other. I think politics, they all work against us regardless. I got a few more clips of him. We'll come back to him in a minute. How do you not? Then he got this one. This is interesting. I just put it out there. We don't actually know, like, what's beyond this ice wall. And maybe that's the end of the Earth, right? The ice wall. And then the pillars are there and we're good to go and just whatever is this here. Or maybe we're entrapped in this little piece of it, but all of this is available to us, but they've shut it off from God's earth. I don't know. No, none of us know. All we can do is speculate and narrate on things, and that's it. A lot of us have not been out of our city. Some of us have never been out of our state. Some of us have never been out of our country, and we're worried about, you know, what's on the other side of Antarctica, and you haven't visited any of this. So people have like all these misconceptions that they know what's happening. Just like all the people that, you know, that do the sun and they show you, look, there's a solar flare. It's a NASA cartoon. It's a light. It's not a ball of burning gas. If you believe that, you're back on the ball, BAAL. And I'm not there anymore. God told me it's stationary in the firmament and it's a light for us. He didn't say it's flaming gas and sun's, what do you call it? Solar flares are going to flare out. There is an entire televised vision show. My wife and I still try to watch. Like you see behind me, above me, that's the sun from NASA. You know, and it fascinates me that there's people that, you know, they know that NASA lies to them about everything, but they accept the information when it comes to the sun. Like, I don't understand how you don't connect them. You just like, you stop and then you allow that in, but whatever. And so what do? They tell you, oh, there's a solar flare coming. Let's cut the internet this time. Yeah. Well, the internet will be out. And how how about the power on the West Coast? And most likely the power on the West Coast. So it's like the whole Simpson thing. Did they predict it, or did they just tell you what they're going to do? You know, if I said I was going to come to your house and bust a window, and then a week later I showed up at your house and busted a window, did I predict it, or did I just tell you what I was going to do? And it's the same thing with this. Like, they're gonna predict these things. No, they're just telling you what they're going to do in the future. So the fact that they have all the countries, that even the ones that don't get along with each other, they all agree that nobody goes to Antarctica, is a weird thing. So we're worried about what's on the other side. We don't even know what's in the oceans that are in next to us, or right below our feet, or water, or whatever. So that's the whole idea behind this. Is what is the whole idea behind this? I kind of got lost in my thoughts here. Oh yeah, the sun. So they're telling you that a solar flare is going to happen, and then you're going to lose power. Or they're just turning it off and told you in advance they're going to shut this down and shut that down. How can you believe when it comes to like this one thing with NASA with solar flares and nothing else? It doesn't make any sense. Now, I understand if we're an electrical charged machinery, and so is the Earth, it's alive, and it has whatever, a vortex, or I don't understand it. None of us do. Like, even the heart is more like an electronic pump than it pumps actual blood through. It carries it through electricity. That's why they do the whole charge thing and all that. In any case, that you don't know what this stuff does. Go read the book of Job. People started telling God how this works and that works, and he's like, I didn't see you when I created any of this. How do you know how this stuff works? And then eventually gets, everyone feeling sorry and repenting. And but yeah, it's the same thing. You don't know how any of this works, and it doesn't matter. I can use my iPhone and not know how it's put together, but I can still use it. I don't know how to build these computers. I barely know how to use them, but I can still do a show and talk to a bunch of people all across the earth. So by the time we actually get to know how all this stuff works, it won't matter anymore. So what's the takeaway? Do we sit and spend all this time deciding, are we on flat Earth? Are we not on flat Earth? Is the sun a ball of gas flying through? Like, why are we spending? I mean, you want us to say, why are we still talking about this? Like Trump says about Epstein. I know where I live. And if you're ever curious about it, go back to the beginning book of the Bible and I'll tell you, and then move on. Like, it's shocking to me that there's people still discussing flat Earth at this point, unless you still believe you're flying through space on a ball. After that, it doesn't really matter. We live on a living space that seems mostly flat, but there's mountains and stuff. And then beneath us, there's shale. There's drawings that go back thousands of years that show things like this. In fact, before NASA, everyone believed there was a firmament above us. What's that one, Operation High Jump, where they shot a bunch of missiles, nuclear weapons supposedly, into the air to test the firmament? It's all documented. You can look that up. So where do we live? I live on God's earth. I know that he's got protection of a firmament above and below. That's all that matters at that point. The actual shape and size, and is there other lands or whatever, doesn't even matter to me. It's, the shocking to me. Let's see, how we're doing. Oh, we'll get back to that. Excuse me. I mean, there was channels that's all they did was flat Earth, 24/7. There's one of those on 24/7. That's all. And I would get in trouble, of course, I still do, because I just speak of a man. I'm like, I'm curious. If let's say you bought a house, and I was the agent that sold it to you. And so you buy a house, and I go, well, here's the keys. Congratulations on your new home. And you thanked me. We shook hands, and hopefully gave me a commission, and I left. And then, excuse me. I told you I was going to sneeze. Hold on. I didn't know why else to put there, so I put him there. No, so let's say I sold your house and then congratulate on your purchase and I left. And then I came back, like, say, 2 weeks later, knocked on your door and said, congratulations on your new house. And then I left. And I did it. And I continued to do it, every day for the next, 6 months or a year. You'd be like, no, I know. We live here now. I know where I live. You don't need to keep reminding me. And that's kind of the way I saw flat Earth. Like, once you know it, you know it. You move on to the next thing. And once you understand the Mandela effect is happening, it's kind of crazy how many ones there are. But the takeaway is we live in a supernatural world that wasn't explained to us, and things can change on a molecular level, and we're in a spiritual battle. That's what you get from the Mandela effect. Nothing else. I mean, you can get other things, but that's the main thing you need to get from the Mandela effect.
That's very true.
So all the questions that I kept getting, they all seem to answer with, it's a battle of good and evil, God and Satan. And then, of course, from there, I went and say, why would they lie to us about all these things? Why is space lied to? Why is the news and everything, why is it a lie? Why is it all a lie? Well, then you understand. They're trying to hide the existence of God. They're trying to hide the fact that you are special, equally special in God's eyes as anyone else. And there are no more special children. We're all grafted in. That's why some special children don't want you to read the rest of the book, because that's where everyone gets grafted in. It'll be good if I hit the button on time. Because that's where, dang it, that's where everyone gets grafted in. So yeah. So that's what it's all about. Don't get stuck on any one topic. We'll get rid of that. I don't need that one tonight. Gone. Okay. All right. What do we have here? Okay, we covered that. Oh, we're still doing some scary space news. I've got a few videos here. So we'll go clickety click. This one. Okay. So again, you can look this up. You can still find this on NASA's website. I wrote the word down. And if you go into this as this person did, and you zoom in, and I did this, you can find this on their website, and you zoom in on this thing. Does that look like a gopher or a rat of some kind? That's what it looks like to me. Let's see if you can, here, I'll make this. That's as large as it goes. But you can follow along this and you can see where he goes. I'll let it play so that way you can see how to zoom in on this. You can rewind it and watch it. But I did this. I followed along with them and found the exact same rat, gopher, whatever you want to call it. All right? And you know what they say on the website? I even wrote it down. See? Well, that's my cat video note. But below it, it says it's called pareidolia, which is where you see things, but they're really just your imagination. It only looks like a rodent, but it's not. It's a very cute rock. Per Myers. Yes. It's on Mars. So, yeah. Well, I like it. Alvin the Chipmunk, right? Yeah, it does look probably Arizona, exactly. But yeah. I didn't see the pop-up bottle cap. I'll have to go back through it. But yeah. So okay. Yes, it's seeing faces and patterns and stuff. But I can look in see an elephant in a cloud. But come on, that's a rat or whatever, some kind of gopher creature. Give me a break. Yeah, is that the one from Caddyshack? So, all right. Okay. Oh, could be. Maybe guinea pig. Could be. Yeah. But yeah, so that's what that's, you can find that on their website. Go check it out. And then, of course, I've got this one. Where'd it go? Okay, I think we covered that one. Oh, this was some fake A stuff coming out of the Philippines. They showed this video as a volcano erupting that just so happened at the same time have a meteor asteroid. Come on. And then I think a dinosaur shows up in the next scene. Like, they're not even trying anymore. And let's say that's real, air quotes. What the heck is that? There's a firmament, so it's not coming from outside the firmament unless God's letting it through. What the heck? Come on. We buying this? I'm not. What a joke. Oops. What a joke. Okay, so get rid of that. So that's the space news there. Oh my gosh. Okay, I gotta do some house cleaning. Look at this, honey. So we got $2 from Darren Ortiz. Darren Ortiz, 2006. Thank you. God bless you. And there's Trish and her hubby, and then we got much love. Right back at you. Thank you very much. I do appreciate your help out on this in this world. And then you've got Story World Studio LLC. Oh, I know who you are. Thank you. God bless you. I know who you are. I've seen that name before. Wow. Gina, $20. And let's Mr. Mackey's here. Okay. Thank you for making Fridays fun, Richard. Well, God bless you. Thank you for that. I do appreciate that very much. So thank you. You all are just super nice. I just love my chat. Oh, okay, so you know the RoboCop thing. Okay, good. Godzilla has a cameo. I bet you're right. So, okay. What was it, the Green Lantern? That could very well be. I didn't think of that. I did think of that. Oh, and then there's more to the video? I didn't know that. There's an orb that comes up after that? Of course there is. Of course there is. So, yeah, and most people do. Most people buy into all of it. Exactly. And then they mock you because you don't buy into it. It's such upside down. So upside down. It does look like a model, 100%. So it was a dinosaur carrying an alien. I like it. And someone saw Elvis. He gets around. He's everywhere. All right. Let's see what we have here. Oh, that was a funny one. You get that. You're going back to that other article on the moon. Yes. All right. Hey, sweets. Good to see you. Okay. Let's go all the way back down to the beginning here. Where are we at? New comments. No, there's no fossils of pandas, of course. The world is a pyramid scheme. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think it's cool that I share the comments. I love it. You know what? Before I was a content creator, I was a chatter. I still, to this day, love to see someone read my chat, post it on the why not? It's fun. It's interactive television, right? I could say hi back to Sweets. See, it's fun. It's something we never had growing up, and I like it. Okay, let's see. Where we got here. Yeah, I can do so many videos on just those things. And you forgot the duck-billed platypus. That's another one. And octopuses or octopi, one of those. So, and I agree. There are good vibes here. That's why I like it. Okay. Enough of the chat. It's your first time here? No way. Look how much screen time you've had. First time, Jeannie. Ooh. Welcome. Aaron. There's two A's there. Aaron. David Spiegel. So It is good vibes. He said that, yeah. So I love sharing the chats too. It's fun. So okay, but then I get lost in them, and then I got to get to the show. All right, let's go back. What do we have here? Oh, and these filters are getting out of control. So you've got. Let's see. Will this work? Yeah. So we'll do this. These filters are getting out of control. There's another thing that you can't believe what you're seeing on the screen. And some of the stuff you can do like with a simple iPhone or Galaxy or whatever, Samsung. Check this out, guy running for Senate. Hopefully I'm sharing the screen. Sometimes I don't. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So the one on the left is the actual photo. And then it was changed to this when it was posted on his page. Now that's the intern I want running if I ever run for some kind of office, right? I mean, I already have that shape, but it'd be nice to, have it more, more like that shape. So there you go. So that is that. And then I had another two here. Oh, this one. So this is her, and she forgot to put her filter on. She's some kind of content creator, and she notices that she's forgotten her filter and puts it on. Did you see that, hon? Oh, you're not seeing it? Oh. I'll let the show catch up to you down there. But yeah, this is her before the filter, and then she notices she forgot to turn it on, and instant. And what they call that, catfishing. It's still the same thing. So there's that one. And then there's this. These are what do you call it? Actors. I guess you can't make that larger there. These are actors, actresses, and so I don't know who this is. Adriana Lima, and this is their actual photo, and that's what they turn it into. Then you got, again, I don't know who these ladies are, but Bryce Dallas Howard. That's her actual photo. That's her Instagram picture. So there's that. Right? Fun. You need a filter? Yeah. I come out unfiltered. This is me. Totally unfiltered. Then you got, who else? Jennifer Coolidge. I thought this was interesting. Yeah, it's a little different, but not as like drastic as some of those other ones. She still has some wrinkles. I don't know. But in any case, this one blew me away. First of all, I've always known this lady as Selma Hayek with an E. Her Mandela name now to me is changed to an A, but it's Salma Hayek. That's her page, and that's her photo. I mean, that one's kind of shocking. So you got that. Who else? Paris Hilton. So that's her photo. That's her real picture. This is her Instagram page or whatever. And we don't have to do them all, but you can see where this is going. Donatella Versace. You'd say, oh, that's the real photo. No, that's the touched up filtered one. That's the real photo. So, yeah. Oh, other people remember Selma? Yeah. Now it's Salma, like a salamander. Salma. So there's Donatella Versace, the way she really is. What else you got? Helena Christensen. I don't know most of these people, but come on. And then there's people that are trying to emulate these people. And they look like this, but they want to look like that. And so they do all kinds of crazy stuff to themselves to try to look more like, here's Kate Hudson versus her real picture, Katy Perry. I don't even know. Vera Wang. Look at that. Come on. What are we doing here? False advertising. What do we got here? Nicole Kidman. She's a devil, demon, or whatever, witch. And Sofia Vergara. That's her two pictures. Well, I said I wouldn't do all, but we'll finish it out. Gwendolyn Christie. Rebel Wilson. Yeah, all right. Jennifer J-Lo. She's probably a witch because she looks kind of the same anyways. And then what do we got? Julianne Moore and Margot Robbie. I think that's the last one. So there you go. Anyways, I thought that was interesting. Once again, don't believe the stuff that you see on television. So we'll get rid of that. And then what other one do we have? We got the filters. Got the volcano. Oh, then there's this. For those of you that go to this new Supergirl movie. So, first of all, she comes out and she's making this thing tank. It's going to it looks like it's going to go as well as Snow White did. Because she keeps coming out and bashing men. Then she bashed Christian men. And then it's like, she doesn't care if anybody comes to see it kind of thing. Meanwhile, the reason I wanted to show this was and this thing probably costs like $20. There's another character in the movie, I guess, his name Lobo, and he's on a machine of some kind. This is what you buy for popcorn. And the thing I found fascinating about it is the only thing it doesn't do well is hold popcorn. That's it. That little tiny reservoir, that's all the popcorn you get. Like I said, this thing probably costs you $20. Not that you should be eating this disgusting popcorn anyways, but it's kind of funny. That's what it's made for. And that's the one thing it really can't do is hold popcorn. So I thought that was interesting. Anyways, get rid of that one. And what else did I have? Oh, I had one more graduation thing. Let's share that. In fact, that it'll be up on my channel if you want to watch it after the show. And it goes something where to go. Clickety click. There was a graduation ceremony in Nashville, I believe. And it poured down rain. And the principal or whoever ran it decided it was too difficult to bring everyone inside of the gymnasium and it wouldn't work out. And so they pushed through and did it in the rain. And so what I did is I put some clips together and I accentuated some of the sound effects and you get this. So let's see.
Big boy, you like thunderstorms?
Gabriella, watch time, girls.
Little thunder? Stop it. Little lightning?
Sarah Grace Braun. Jocelyn Chelsea Brenner. Brooklyn Michelle Brown. Jacqueline Elizabeth Brown. Sophia Renee Brunsma. Cameron Joseph Bernheim. You call this a storm? Oh, you son of a...
Thunder, lightning.
Satellite tracking continues.
Where am I? There you go. And scene. So there you go. I don't know. Just kind of fit for me, the Captain Dan thing. So it's yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. Their hats are suited for the weather of a sky god. Fantastic. Okay, you get one of these. Fantastic. Yeah, the Lieutenant Dan just used it for snorting. Just seemed to fit in there, so he did. Yeah, that's how he shows up for me. Oh, boy, the chat's flying. I can't find where I am. Where are you? There you are. You like that one? Okay, good. Yeah, the hair and makeup is out the window, right? So, but yeah. People are pansies. Happy to see this. Fantastic. I like the way you're thinking there. So, but yeah. All right. Yeah. Here's your soggy diploma. So, well, I did enhance the audio just a little, Trey. Just a little. So yeah, it was kind of epic. All right. Let's see. Oh, what do we have? Oh my goodness. So let's see. We had that one. Thank you again on that. And okay, it's McKay. Here we go. Zigzag 2924. Your shows always lighten my mood. God bless you. And thank you. God bless you and yours too. I enjoy it. The fact that God put this in my heart and gave me some kind of talent to put this together and make it enjoyable. It's a blessing for me. And I love being able to interact with you all. And so thank you for the kind words and the donation and your donation again. And what is this one? Another one. Let's just say biblical and root definitions of planet before fin. Could you go over that a little bit better? I'm not quite sure what you mean. Yeah, if you would write something else in the chat, I'll try to understand that better. Okay. Let's see. Where are we at? Is that God's opinion of the education system? Could very well be, Allison. You get what? Let's see. Let's move on down. French for end. Okay. So let's go back to what you said. Biblical and root definitions of planets before end. I agree. Sorry, I'm not quite sure what's happened there. But thank you. And thank you for looking forward to it all week. That's really nice. Yeah, the heavy stuff's not going to come down for a while, right? Isn't that was that Caddyshack? I should have included him in that. I really should have. So, all right. Let's see. We got those. See what other videos I have. I might as well cover this guy. He's just going. He's out of control. What do you have here?
Paris, France, the Eiffel Tower, 1889 it was built. It was supposed to be taken down immediately after the World's Fair. And then they said, you know, we sort of like it. Let's leave it up a little bit longer. And then they said, let's leave it up longer and longer and longer. Well, they never took it down. And, you know, we're building something in front of the White House that's quite attractive to a lot of people. It's going to have the big UFC fight on June 14th. And I'm looking at it, and maybe we'll never, ever take it down. I don't know that.
He's such a troll. He is such a troll. The smug look he has at the end, too. We're never going to take it down. And if you don't know what he's talking about, you're living under a rock somewhere. I'll show you. Is it in here? Let's see. I'm going to start by name. There it is. Let's see. This is the White House. This was the White House. This is the current state of it. They're building this big cage match thing here. This is the Baal room, B-A-A-L. That's going to have the bunkers and all that other stuff down below it. Probably already exists, but they're just saying that they're building it now. Because we don't really know where ground level is. So that's what's going on there. This big giant, I mean, what is it? They give them bread and circus and they'll never revolt. I mean, could it be more in your face? Because he's putting it right at the entrance of the White House, and then saying that hopefully it'll never leave. Look at this is wild, man. It's just fascinating what's going on. I mean, again, I'm only looking at what's online. If you live out in the DC area, let me know if this is actually a real photo, but supposedly it is. And so they've taken out the lawn, all these old growth trees, and they're building stadium stands and doing a fight. Like the most brutal fight you can think of. UFC is where they don't even have gloves, I think, and they can punch and kick and maim and kill. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Where's our guy? This is the White House on July 4th.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
That's what we're doing, man. It's nuts. It's just so bizarre. It is so bizarre. So that's what's going on over there. Meanwhile, besides him doing all kinds of crazy stuff around the White House, he let's see, where's that other thing I had of him? You just really can't get enough of him sometimes. Sorry. Where's oh, and then of course, you know, the way this works is like any good soap opera, you're gonna have to have people like be enemies, and then they work together, and then they'll fight and they'll break up and they'll work together, right? I mean, what was it, the Winchesters brothers in Supernatural? Every week they were breaking up and getting back together. In any case, so him and Netanyahu, apparently it's real, because they've both sides have said yes, this happened. There's a phone call that Trump basically yelled at Bibi and cursed him out and said he was an idiot or stuff like that. And then Netanyahu then comes out. I think I have that. Let me see. And he came out in where is that? Let's see. It's not that. Let's go back. Go here. Where is he? Okay, so we'll go there. I'll put my finger there so I can see where it is. Okay, so we're going to clickety-click here, and here, and here, and here, and here. Click on that. Yeah. So now, just like Elon and Trump broke up, now they're back together, of course. So Netanyahu is now saying he appreciates every amount of help America's given us over the years. We don't need it anymore. Wouldn't that be great?
We wouldn't have had to spend $1 trillion. We would spend a fraction of that, which is a few $billion a year. But
if we weren't involved, they wouldn't have spent as much of our money. I mean, I don't. It's insanity. But keep going, BB.
I mean, we appreciate it. I appreciate every amount of help that America has given us over the years. But I think just as we moved away from financial aid, economic aid, we can move away now from military aid and move to a partnership. And that's
so now the thing is he's now changed it, and we're now moving to a partnership. And so rather than asking for aid, so like say asking our military to go bomb things of another country that it doesn't affect us, but we're going to go do that for them. Instead of that, they've actually got it going through Congress right now, apparently, or soon, that our military and Israel's military will then now be combined into one military, which some people say sounds treasonous. But in any case, I digress, which means they won't have to ask our permission anymore, because we'll have to do whatever it is that they're needing protecting, because now it's all merged into one giant army. Sounds real biblical to me, but what do I know? I'm just some guy on YouTube drinking out of a panda mug. Let's see. What else do we have? Well, I guess we can finish up some Trump things that I've got in here. Let's see. I think it starts here, because I told you he loves to troll. He got his name put on. It's going to go on Penn Station. It's now going to have Donald Trump's name on it. So that's cool, right? Anyone else, is he sounding like, what do you call it? Was the King of Babylon? Can't think of it. Nebuchadnezzar, right? And he makes all these golden statues. Trump's already got a couple golden statues. He's got a mock, supposedly, not the real one. What do you call it? Ark of the Covenant, and amongst other things. So now he's got his name on Penn Station, or will be. How about this one? I thought this was not real. This is real. They're coming out with a dollar amount, $250 American. And it'll have Trump's picture on it and his signature. I don't know why they chose such a miserable picture, but maybe they'll change the different
Until
one.
we see your signature next to President Trump's
It is real. Look at these are the real guys.
face on a $250
Unless you tell me this is all AI, it seems like Fox to me.
bill.
Well, again, as Treasury Secretary, I have two mandates for U.S. currency. At present, no living person can be on U.S.
I say it's for reals.
currency, and the currency must say, "In God we trust." So right now there is proposed legislation that in front of the House, in front of the Senate, to change the first requirement so that a living person, Donald J. Trump, could be on a $250 bill. So,
well, they're working on it. They're going to hurry up. You don't think they'll do it?
In the hands of the.
But how come he talked about the first part and the second part, but then he only talks about the first part, about you don't have to be dead to be on it. But what about where it's supposed to say "In God we trust"? Is it going to say "In Trump we trust"? I mean, remember the guy was pretending to be Jesus not too long ago. He did another one. How about this one? He's talking about how we have experimental drugs that literally bring people back to life. So soon to be sold at a theater near you. What's next? And how about this guy?
Process.
This is Rabbi Mendel Keshen, and he says Trump started the messianic process.
Because people don't realize that Esav does tshuva. He is Esav doing tshuva.
So he said Trump starts the messianic process. Well, don't forget, in the messianic age, you can read in the Talmud. I don't, shouldn't, but that's where the white Christians have to serve the special race and assist them in any of their needs. You got to read your Bibles, people. This has been talked about what's going on, and the deception happening here. But if you don't read it, you won't know. My people perish for lack of knowledge. Of course, now they're destroyed because that's a Mandela effect that changed. It really upsets me, but it's not happening, right? Of course. In any case, how about Nebraska? They just passed. They're so proud they just signed an executive order to combat anti-septics and protect religious liberty. So, they're spending their time well done. So you got that going. But wait, nay, there's more. How about this? Where'd it go? What's RFK Jr. up to? He's the guy that's going to get us back to health. Oh, he's capturing his hand. He's getting bit. But you know why he doesn't get bit? Because it's professional courtesy. From the same line as Columbia.
Well, they were having sex, so what were they?
Moccasins, he says. Aren't some of those poisonous? How do you know they're poisonous? Do you pick them up and they bite you?
They're not moccasins.
Well, now they're not moccasins. They are biting him.
Are they biting?
Yeah.
Honey, buttercup. Oh my God.
Jesus, the mouths are huge.
He posted it. What do you mean it's not there? He posted it. Yes. Look, it even still has his name on the Twitter thing. That's the head of the health department. And see, part of the deception is they're going to tell you something and some truth, but they're going to misdirect you from another truth. So, like, here he is at a committee.
So there's many other
and this study was children that got circumcised early had double the rate of autism. So they're going to misdirect you to start concentrating on that discussion rather than potentially it's something else that's introduced in childhood multiple times through sharp objects. No, we're not going to have that discussion. We're not going to do a study on that. How do they do this study? Give me a break. It's nonsense. It's misdirection from a snake handler. They're all snake oil salesmen, right? Whatever that's called. That's all they are. You knew you were a snake when you took me in, is what he says in the thing. And I'm not anti-Trump or anti-Biden or pro-Kamala. No, it doesn't matter. They put whatever puppet they want in there to make us fight over, do you like the red team or the blue team? Meanwhile, they're all doing the same agenda. Just sometimes you feel like you got good cop and donuts, and sometimes you feel like you have bad cop and dementia. That's pretty good. Should clip that one. But they're distracting you from the real stories. Like, did you know that the son of the president just married the accountant of Jeffrey Epstein? Oh, he was. Oh, let's see. No, I'm sorry. Let's see. She's the daughter of the accountant. Yeah, of Epstein, who was friends with whatever. Nothing to see here. We're not going to discuss that. That's just normal, right? That they all just kind of like link together and marry each other, and then no one goes to jail. No one ever goes to jail, right? I could put up one of my Yellowstone things, but look at this. Talk about art imitating life, or whatever you want to call it. So this guy, his name is Palm Beach Pete, because he was shown on a Twitter viral video, and people say that he looks like the Epstein guy. And so what does he do? He takes his 10 minutes of fame, and now he's running for was it mayor of Palm Beach? So if on your bingo cards you had the look-alike of Jeffrey Epstein is going to run for mayor of Palm Beach, you may now check that off. If you had that. I don't know how you would. What's these last things? Oh.
Who lives in Palm Beach?
Who's in Palm Beach?
Who lives there?
Reagan? No, he's dead.
No.
Ooh. Let's see. Let me get through these last tabs up here. Let's see. We'll go over here. Clickety click. If you're enjoying the show, don't forget, hit the like button, please. They say helps all their algorithms. I don't know. We'll see. So you got these two idiots, and the CEO of BlackRock, who basically owns most everything, and Larry Fink. What a great name for him. And the other guy might be from Planterra or something. I don't know. But they're discussing about how, with these AI systems,
more Americans to think about growing with the United States. We will have far than enough money to invest in this infrastructure. But as the governor was talking about, the need for electrons is growing every day. Some of these, if we're going to be the leader in technology, which we are, if we are going to be the leader in AI, which we presently are, it's just going to require trillions of dollars of investments. And if we don't invest in it, China will be the global leader in this.
China. We're always worried about China. They're going to the moon first, and they're going to try to be the leaders of AI. But nay, we've got to be the leaders. So how are they going to accomplish this if they don't have enough money?
And so to me, it's not whether. This is a must. And if you think about how that translates, it translates into a more dynamic economy. We need the United States economy to grow at over 2%. We need the U.S. economy to grow at 3%, especially with the growing deficits the federal government has. And so much of this money, not just the project, is going to be coming from the private sector.
So the money they've taken out of your paychecks already, called taxes, that's not going to be enough to cover it. They need to go to the private sector and take it from the savings accounts and your pension accounts.
Accounts from insurance companies and on and on.
Insurance companies and on and on and on.
The whole world is in need of improving the infrastructure.
They just straight up say it. Can they do it? I don't know. Is it gaslighting? Absolutely. But isn't that wild? So they're just telling us they're going to come for your money wherever you have it. And if you got your mattress, maybe that might solve something. I don't know. Meanwhile, you got the major AI company, this Palantir. I think that's how you say it. I thought this was interesting. Somebody posted this video, but then somebody made a comment. Read this comment here. Gunpowder used to be for entertainment. Then it was used to kill. Drones used to be used for entertainment. Then they were used to kill. AI is now used for entertainment. And then, you fill in the blank. And you got this guy. He's the head of Palantir. And he can't stay in his chair. He's all excited.
On the line. Is there anything you'd like to say before we end the call?
Listen, he says at the end here.
Scare enemies and on occasion and make the institutions we partner with the very best in the world. And when it's necessary to scare enemies and on occasion kill them.
It's like, no problem. Sometimes we scare enemies. Sometimes we kill them. And let's not even go into he's like, how can I make myself be known really fast? Well, Einstein did it and he was successful, and so did Bob Ross. So I'll just have my hair look crazy, look like I found the one clean t-shirt on the floor, and do an interview. And that's going to make me look like a mad scientist, tech guy, I guess.
And we hope you're in favor of that. We hope you're enjoying being a partner. And
did you already say you hope you're in favor of?
In the world. And when it's necessary to scare enemies and on occasion kill them. And we hope you're in favor of that. We hope.
Who's in favor of that? Say aye. Oh, shoot. Okay. What you? Oh, that's funny. It's a Hare Krishna. That's funny. Who are you? Oh, Huncover. Yeah. Bad hair day. Exactly, Xavier. Bad hair day. I think all his hair days are bad, though. I got nothing to worry about when I see him. He's running a huge company. All right, what's this? Oh, don't forget, Pam Bondi didn't leave. She just got transferred to what? She's going to be the liaison between that guy with the wild hair and us. She'll be the government and the AI company board of the panel of boards, whatever. I don't know. She's that's where she's headed to. She got that going for us. And then the new iPods, AirPods, they're going to come with a camera, dual camera. And you're like, whoa, why would I want cameras in my headset? So it can understand your surroundings. And so it has a privacy LED that lights up when visual data is being sent to the cloud. So it's going to take the information and then it's going to send it to the cloud. And it's going to let you know, hey, we're accessing all your personal stuff and shipping it off to nowhere. Don't worry about it. You're asking too many questions. But this way you can look in the fridge and Apple or Alexa or whoever the heck it is can tell you what to make for dinner, because that's important. Siri, that's the other one. She turns on the eyes-on AI assistant that understands what's in front of you. Point them at your fridge and ask what to cook. Walk into a room and ask what you're looking at. Siri sees what you see. Geez. So there you go. And people are going to buy this and stick this on their heads. Yeah. Meanwhile, auditors get in trouble all the time because they stand on a street corner with a visible camera, where people are going to be walking around with these things recording you all the time. We're not quite there, but we're getting so close to all those movies and books and stuff that warn you of this police state stuff. But yeah, so there you go. What's left? Yeah, here you go. This is AI at a church.
My name is Peter.
Hey, Peter.
And I was crucified for my faith in Jesus.
How creepy is that? You go to a church service and an AI of Peter comes on.
Well, it looks pretty empty.
It looks pretty empty. Yeah, I would agree with you there. But you know what? I think the key moment of this clip, for those of us that were listening, is someone threw in a Family Guy drop saying, "Hey, Peter."
My name is Peter.
Hey, Peter.
And I was crucified for my faith in Jesus.
So, and I can totally respect that they threw that in the video. So kudos to them. That's really funny. Okay, what's next? Oh, and this I just wanted to bring up because there's people that discuss like what time are we in, what day are we in, what month, you know, and I understand God wants us to like celebrate that he took a day off. He called it Sabbath. But don't forget the same people that they're caught up in all the rules and they're missing the bigger picture. They're missing the relationship with God because they're worried about all the rules. And even Jesus talked about the Pharisees or whoever. He was like, you know, hey, sorry, I healed somebody on the Sabbath, but if you had a sheep go missing, would you leave him to die or would you go look for him? I mean, this is what you do. And so don't get caught up in the numbers of things because we don't know what day of the week it is. We don't know what day of the month it is. I can prove it. I mean, you can look this up. In 1582, when we switched calendars, there's, 2 weeks or whatever that is, 11 days that just disappeared. So that would throw all your calendars off right there. Don't get me started. There was more days. I think it was there 366 days, and now it's 365. And now we do the whole leap year thing to throw another day in there and to try to make up for it. And there was more hours. It's all confused. And you really feel that there's a guy somewhere that has been counting Saturday since the beginning, well, let's say since 1582, that someone's kept track of Saturday and no one's made a mistake. I mean, there's 11 days here missing. I keep changing the number, but no, it looks like 11 to me. 4 and 15, that's 11, yeah. So it's like 11 days are missing. So we don't know. All we can do is this. Give a day up for God. Take a day where you're not doing anything, but maybe praying or reading the Bible or just walking around in nature, talking to God. Like, take some time off. Don't do any work. As far as, you know, work at home, don't work that day. You know, just honor God in that kind of way. Don't make it all about what day it is, because you don't know what day it is. You don't know why the months are all mixed up, right? September, and what do you got? October, which is a 10, and it's 8. And November, which is a 9, and it's 11. And December, which is a 10, and it's 12. I mean, we don't even know. The new year didn't start. Look at when Jesus was born. He wasn't born in the middle of winter. They were in the fields. He was most likely born, they say, September 11th, because why not in Satan's little season mix up the days and make the most amazing day in the history of human nature be the worst day? That makes sense. I mean, that's why they call them April Fools. The beginning of the new year is when spring happens and everything is anew. April 1st. Not January. It's the middle of winter. And there's nothing growing in most places in January. So again, don't get caught up in the numbers of things. It's too easy to do. You need to make that spiritual connection and put it to the Holy Spirit. Talk to God about it. Don't watch a YouTube channel and try to describe to you the proper things to do. They don't know any more than you do, because all they can do is read scriptures or other articles and talk to God themselves. So do it yourself. How about this? In 1968, this is a Soviet clock that shows the seconds passing normally. And here's the same clock now in 2025. Look at it's twice. I don't know, twice as fast, but it's way faster. God says this. It's going to speed up in these days. He even has that sentence that people don't really talk about. Time and half a time. Well, that sounds like a sped up time to me. He even says it. In those days, the seasons will be shortened or there wouldn't be anyone left alive. So it makes sense that all of us feel like, man, this year, we're already halfway through this year. Can you believe it? The whole 2020 thing is 5 years in the rearview mirror at this point, going on 6 years, going on 7. So don't get caught up in the times and the dates and all that. Make your connection to God and give him his time. Take some time to read the Bible here and there. Make some time. You won't be able to do it if you don't make the time. Meanwhile, people are obsessed with this. I kind of am. The first ever all-electric Ferrari. Those two things just do not mix in my head. You know, Jeannie?
Right. You can't mix.
We heard a video. We watched a video today where this auditor and this lady got upset in their probably a Tesla or some electric car. Of course, it was like at a Trader Joe's, and she gunned it to like aggressively drive away. But it's an electric car. I'm just like, wee. You know, unless they put a fake noise into this car, there's no Ferrari sound. Vroom, vroom, you know what I mean? Like, why have this car unless you put in a fake noise? It's just gonna be like, whee, the Fast and the Furious. Whee. Huh? Oh, people won't care. It's still a Ferrari.
It's just our generation.
Is it our generation? That could be. We're the last hope. The new generation will buy their electric Ferrari. They can't even afford a car now. How are they going to afford a Ferrari? Does it say how much it is? Starts at $640,000.
What?
So there's that. Oh my goodness. Any case, so there you go. Let's get rid of that tab. Okay, and then finally, I want to get to. I need to get to this. I spent some time on this last week, and then I didn't get to show you. So our president, once again, I guess didn't have enough distractions or news articles about him. Is there any more coffee? No. Oh, no more. That's right. I got water. He didn't have enough people talking about him. So apparently there was another pew pew, as they say on YouTube. And the thing that that blew me away, this lady ended up on my feed, just everywhere, because she ended up becoming a viral video because you hear the pew pew sounds, and she just didn't know what it was. Now, so this is the original video.
What is that? What is that?
And she did the whole what's that lady, Snow White, kind of grimace. So that's what happened. That was the original video, and she was just like, what is that? And then of course I came across this one, which is funny because you've got it looks like two Asian reporters and then this gal, and when they hear it, they sort of have natural reactions, I feel.
What is that?
But she just stood her ground and just yells, what is that? So, I mean, this gal did it the fastest. He took some time, like, straight. Like, that's my favorite part of his. He's got whatever wire this is, right? And he's ducking for cover, but he's got to do the whole James Bond straight.
What is that?
Then he ducks down. So, okay, so then what happened? So then they posted this lady, and someone was nice enough to remove all of the background noise and green screen it. And I have not done any playing around with green screen other than the thing that you see behind me. And I had some time because I didn't do the show last week. And so I played around with it and created my own moments. Let's see. I hope you enjoy them. And let's see, I've got, where'd it go? So I've got, where are you? There you go. So the first thing I did was I thought I'd put her with the tiger.
What is that? What is
Satellite
that?
tracking continues.
Do you like that one? Anybody like that one? The tiger? Okay. Maybe you like that one. Okay, maybe. Oh, did you? Yeah.
Right?
Yes, she does. So then let's see. I didn't want to stop there, so I tried her. Let's see. I tried her with this thing.
I'm very excited to hear, Melania, very enthusiastic about AI, but at the same time, I'm fascinated and worried. So my first thoughts.
What is that?
These dangers could be huge. The general reflection is taking place in France about marking. Do we need a sort of a logo to say this content or say this or that? In communications, press.
Satellite tracking continues.
Gotta keep her. Oh shoot, yeah, right. You can put her with just about. It is. It's endless. It's endless. It really was the gift. I mean, don't get me started. Once you show me how I can green screen things with that, then you end up with this.
What a piece of junk!
She'll make 0.5 past light speed.
What is that?
It may not look like much, but she's got it where it counts, kid. I've made a lot of special modifications myself.
What is that?
Satellite tracking continues.
She's still there. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, maybe I was definitely having too much fun with this. So, and let's see, maybe if that wasn't your bag, whoops, wrong button. Maybe like this one. And then that was something new, something old. We have to have something old. So I put it with for those of you playing along, I played this a while back because it used to freak me out when this came on the televised vision. But Quiznos had a really creepy ad back in the day.
We love the subs!
What is that?
The Quiznos subs!
What is that?
They are crunchy, they are warm because they toast them! They got a pepper bar!
Satellite tracking continues.
So I am still laughing. I find these hilarious, and I have no regrets. And so then I figured, okay,
You are one of a kind.
I am one of a kind. Thank you, love. I love you too. So I said, okay, let's go all in for all the chips. Let's combine two favorite moments. The new favorite moment and the old favorite moment, and you get this masterpiece.
To my friend Charlie Kirk.
What is that?
Rest now, brother. We have the watch. And I'll see you in Valhalla.
What is that?
Satellite tracking continues.
That would you like? Okay. I think I'm gonna change those. I think I'm gonna keep her on them. I think so. Oh my goodness. People are they're laughing, Genie. They're loving it. So, oh my gosh, that's fantastic. What is that? Oh my gosh, you guys are great. Fantastic. Yeah, the resting Snow White face. Oh shoot. Isn't that great? So, yeah. Oh, there's what you said. I'm one of a kind. Oh my gosh. Okay. Everyone's liking them. Okay, good. Well, almost everybody. But because you said that, we get this one more time.
Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk.
What is that?
Rest now, brother. We have the watch. And I'll see you in Valhalla.
What is that?
Satellite tracking continues.
The resting Snow White face. Fantastic. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You guys are great. So there you go. I sat on those for like a couple of weeks now because I made them towards anyways. So I'm glad I was able to share them tonight. All right. What else do I have that I didn't go through? Let me look here and see. What is that? Now I'm going to hear that gal's voice all the time. What is it? Got the graduation. Did that. Looks like we got through all those. Okay. And let me look at the photos over here. What do I got going on in here? Clickety click. Let's see. I did want to talk about a few of these things. Okay. So there we go. So I just wanted to show this. We had one of two of my wife's sons over for a wonderful, and we didn't plan it, but it's like a biblical meal. It was an amazing piece of salmon, and we cooked it outside in an oven, and with some green beans. And she made the most amazing flatbreads, I think they're called, in the oven. They're incredible. So I don't know. This is my Instagram page. I guess I just wanted to share. It was just such a wonderful, lovely meal. When you do have any food, don't forget, say a quick prayer, just a quick blessing. Thank God. I mean, the fact that you have food on your table, shelter, just any of that. The fact that you have internet that you can watch this show. I mean, there's so many blessings in our lives, and God, sure, He's there to help us when we have trouble and we need help. Like when we were praying for the surgeries and stuff that were going on, and the problems going on in our own personal lives. We pray for those things, but at the same time, don't forget, thank God for the blessings that you have, even if it's just something real real easy, like thanks for waking me, because I can face another day. It's just we have so many wonderful blessings that we just got to remember to thank God for them. That's all. And I said this years ago when I first started doing this. If you take out the word luck of your vocabulary and you switch it for the word blessing, you're going to count your blessings and you'll prove the existence of God on your own. It's fascinating to watch in real time. So anyway, so there was that. But I had more pictures in there. Where'd they go? Let's see. Clickety click. Oh, let's go this way. Let's try it this way. We'll go here and share screen. We can do it that way. I thought this is pretty funny. Of course, it's Babylon Bee. But study finds that 100% of men would eat any fruit given to them by a naked woman. Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. Just saying. It's how we gotten in this mess. That's the thing. Women have always had a power over men, and they always will. Never, it has not changed, and it never will. So, okay, where'd it go? That's pretty good. And then, can I go to the next one? Oh, there we go. Here's some tips, ceiling fan man tips on how to save on gas. Check your tires, reduce your speed, avoid lots of stops and starts, get rid of any extra weight, and don't go to war just because someone tells you to. So there. What's next? Oh, that's our wonderful meal. Thank you, Lord. Kids today lug around 40 ounces in a Stanley tumbler like they're on a trek to the desert. Meanwhile, my generation survived on 3 sips of a German-fested water fountain after recess and called it a day. And a lot of times it was out in the sun and the water was actually hot or warm, right? Am I speaking the truth down there, Silent Wife?
No.
No. Well, it was for us. Well, maybe you're in the Northwest. It was colder. Our water would sometimes be hot coming out of there. It was really gross. But you did what you had to do. So.
I do remember that.
Oh, now you remember it.
I do.
Okay.
So long ago.
It was so long ago. But I'm right. Say it out loud. She can't do it. She suddenly got silent. But you guys all heard it. You know I'm right. Okay, next. All these things are healthy unless you put them together. Because we live in the little season. Come on. This is nuts. Here's the difference between 95 and 2026. All right. And this one, there's nothing funny about this. Home sellers now outnumber buyers by 630,000. It's the largest gap ever recorded because the housing market's gone insane. The median price for like a home out here is like $700,000, and you get maybe a 1-bedroom. I don't even know anymore. It's crazy, the prices of houses. And nothing's changed other than they just inflated these prices. But now what's happened is, you know, they say the boomer that bought their house with 2 loaves of bread and a stick of butter now wants, you know, $1 million for his home, and nobody wants to pay it because it was built in 1940. So the housing market, who knows where it's going to go, but it's definitely on some unsteady ground along with everything else in this economy. So why not that too? But that's going on there. Sometimes I just have to turn off the news and put on a serial killer documentary so I can relax. Anyone else in the chat can relate to this? Next. Oh, I posted this and I wanted to share it again tonight because here's the thing. You know, we get together and we have a good time here, and hopefully you have some fun and laughs, and I make this enjoyable. But at the end of the day, I want you to remember this. This is a spiritual battle. You're in it. Whether you believe in God and through Jesus or any of that, it doesn't matter because you're in the same universe existence that I'm in. And I'm telling you, from my experiences, what I've seen and heard, and you can't unring these bells, this is a real thing. It's a real battle. God is real. He's right here. He's here now. He's been with you your whole life. You just didn't realize it. And so when you're having those moments in despair, even if you have Christ in your heart, and you still can have these moments, he said it was going to be difficult. He said, pick up your cross and follow me, which is a torture device for him in those days. He didn't say, let's go to the beach and to the movies. It's going to be a tough, the more you get in touch with your spiritual side, the less you'll feel part of the quote world. And so the world is going to look at you and not understand you, and then it's going to mock you. And you have to stay strong. You have to not only pray for them and not feel, you know, anger towards it or you know, it's disheartening when you see family and friends that don't understand the world. They think that they know what's happening, and they'll mock you for your beliefs because they don't see it your way. And they don't understand that you were that way too. You saw it from those other sides, but now God's opened your eyes. It's a blessing from God. And so the fact that you're here on some level, this is your blessing that you've had your eyes open. And so now you need to go with that information and see where it takes you. For me, it took me to my spiritual path where I made my connection with God. And so in those moments, even though you've got him in your heart and you're hurting, you're in pain, you're in sorrow, I thought this was a really good spiritual message. Sometimes we feel overwhelmed. We must remember not to hide away, but reach out to God, for he will be our comfort. May God bless us with that comfort right now. Hear my cry, O God, attend unto my prayer. From the end of the earth I will cry unto thee. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For thou hast been a shelter for me and a strong tower from the enemy. I will abide in thy tabernacle forever. I will trust in the covert of thy wings. Selah. And so that I like this, and I wanted to share this because I wanted people to know that that's just part of this battle that we're going through. It's part of it. Is that, how do I put this? It's part of like a test in a way, but it's also that whole thing about iron sharpening iron. The only way that I understand heaven or wherever it is that we eventually go to, if you look back in the days of the Bible, they didn't directly talk to God. Certain people got to go in to the temple, the tabernacle, and there was a veil in between God and those priests. And so you had to do these like different steps to get to talk to God. But then when Jesus shows up, eventually that veil gets torn. And so he made the connection back for us, back to God. And all we have to do is ask for it and accept it. And then it's made for us. But within that, we still live in this world. And so, like I said, people aren't going to see it and they're going to mock you for it. I didn't want to listen to anybody that talked about God when I was, growing up Jewish. I don't want to hear about Jesus or the Bible. Now I understand it. And if you ever do take the time to read the Bible, the stories are fascinating. There's murder, there's intrigue, there's romance, it's everything. It's most stories, music, that kind of stuff. They're all plagiarized in some way. They all come from stories of the Bible that just been changed. And so those stories are fascinating if you ever get the chance to sit down and read them. But it does another thing. It also helps shape you and change you. And you understand the world that we live in better. And so I know that there's some people that don't even want to read not just the parts with Jesus in it. There's some people that read that but don't read the parts with Paul in it. And that's another one that fascinates me. Like, who are we to say? When I read the teachings of Paul, they fit right in line with the teachings of Jesus. I understand Paul started out as this horrible person that persecuted and killed people that believed in Jesus. But then he had this change. He met him on the road to Damascus, and he changed. That's when he be from Saul to Paul. And there's people like, well, there's no proof of that. Nobody was with him. Okay, but what is it that he writes that you don't like that's different than the teachings of Jesus? I mean, maybe it's the stuff where he talks about like how you should act sexually, or how you should, as far as marriage, or how the woman treats the man. Maybe there's something in there. But when you read through it, like there's some people that get mad about where Paul says the woman's supposed to be like, listen to the man or whatever. But then the very next lines after that are, but the man has to treat the woman like, who she is. She's the daughter of God. And so that's where that symbiotic relationship comes in effect, is that you treat her the way she should be treated, and then she treats you the way you should be treated. That's love thy neighbor as thyself. So the teachings to me are all similar. And if the guy on the cross right next to Jesus, who knew nothing about Jesus or what he talked about, if he has to be forgiven, and he is instantly, well, that's our lesson, is that anyone can be forgiven. And so, you shouldn't throw out the teachings of Paul. If he repented, he was forgiven, and he wrote all these amazing letters. I mean, there's some amazing knowledge in those letters. And his letters also prove another thing to me, that Revelation happened because he's writing to all these churches that are all completely destroyed and gone now. And so, yeah, you can add the church dispensation, and you can say, well, they actually meant, this church means Greece, or you can mix it up, and you can add 2,000 years, and you can say he was talking about a future event, or he was writing to the church before it got destroyed, and then it got destroyed like around 70 AD. But I don't know, because at the end of the day, you got to remember this one thing: no matter who you talk to or listen to or whatever you read, there's this.
There are no experts.
Now, who can argue with that?
Reverend.
You got 3 in a row there. All right. So, oh, that's funny. So this person says, Beowulf of Horde, regarding Paul, it's mostly good stuff, but oobla di oobla da is a bit overrated. He's mixing up with the other Paul. Yeah. I like it. I like it. Anyways, here you get. Although Silly Love Songs is still a good song, regardless. Just saying. I don't know. So, rhetoric. I don't know. I hear reverend, but is it rhetoric? I guess it's rhetoric. All right. So, all right. I think that's it. I think I covered pretty much all the things that I had to go over. And
So, Mew Wolf says it's rhetoric.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're right again.
You better say you're right.
I just did. I said you're right again.
I'm right again.
See, here, where we go?
True. Yep. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So there you go. You're right again. Okay. What else do we have? Got the flank.
What the just happened?
All right, so we got that done. I think we're good. So, other than that, oh wait, what's this? Please look up Root and Biblical Deaf for Planet while live. I'm new to this. I don't know. The more you send, the more you can type. Well, don't keep paying money just to say this. Write me an email and I can go over it with you. Okay, I'll have some time to look this up. ceilingfanman2020@gmail.com. Would you do that? And I'll be more than happy to go through that and comment on it next week. I'll make a note next to my cat video note. I'll make another note about root and biblical deaf. So, but thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate that. So yes, I'll go over that with you. Just help me out. We'll go over that for next week. Okay. Having said that, I think we got. Oh, you got the cat. Okay. Good. Oh, you wanted the cat again?
I do.
What is that? All right. Where's the cat? It is.
What the just happened?
Oh, geez. I cut my power again on the camera. There we go. Oh, now we got the green screen. Oh, well. Whatever. The show's ending anyway, so I think the last thing that needs to be done is, oops, before I close this out, just a matter of which one. And I'm going to go for Valhalla.
To my friend Charlie Kirk.
What is that?
Rest now, brother. We have the watch. And I'll see you in Valhalla.
What is that?
Satellite tracking continues.
All right. So that's it. The satellite's flown away. Now we just have green behind me. Thank you again for another super chat. And what is this? Okay, there you got them all here. Yeah, it does look like the cat jump. Oh, your cats do that? That's funny. It's cat scratch fever. Yes. So, okay. I think we've done it. We're good. We got the cat thing. Great. So we missed the email. It's on the description in the descriptions. It's ceilingfanman2020@gmail.com. So, all right. Well, thank you. And you're the best. Thank you. All right. So here's what I'll just say. I'll say, dear Father, please continue to watch over us and guide us through these times. Fill us with joy in our hearts and give us the stamina, the patience to wait for those that don't see it yet, and allow us to accept them and pray for them, that their hearts and minds will be open like you opened ours. And we look forward to that day when we can be all joined together, united in love and joy, in peace and harmony, with no pain, with no fear, just neighbor loving neighbor as God intended. And we look forward to that day. And please continue to hold us in your arms and keep us safe from all attacks of the enemy. And guide us through these times and give us the healing that we need, whether it's physical or whether it's emotional. Help us, comfort us as you've promised. We thank you for all of our blessings, and we will continue to go for and walk towards a deeper walk with you in faith, in love, in the name of Jesus. Amen. Okay. That's it. That's all that's in the tank. I'm glad you were all here. I hope you had a nice time. And like, share, and subscribe. And thank you again for all the people that help support this channel. And that's about it. So you get two things left. You get this, he says, with a knife in his leg.
Class is dismissed.
All right. Let's do this again. Same bad time, same bad channel. 6 p.m. West Coast. Check your local listings. We'll see you Friday night. And have a wonderful weekend. Thanks again for being here. God bless you all. Have a good night.
I'm the satellite.
$500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat.
Satellite transfer complete.